Whenever you do high concept films with a commercial sensibility, it's always tough to crack the perfect code. Something that Ayushmann Khurrana did in his filmography and was celebrated for. So, Maddock Films has had a history of this and it's mostly missed the mark. So, when you're going to bring up AI and singularity and bring about it in a commercial lens with romance and a comedy of errors, it's a tricky job to do. This one's definitely a mixed bag. The presence of Shahid Kapoor in a light-hearted romantic comedy is a dime a dozen. It's like randomly seeing Hrithik Roshan in a slapstick comedy. It's only bound to happen once in a blue moon. And since Shahid was in a bad boy rage mode ever since Kabir Singh, showing shades of the same on the edge energy in Bloody Daddy and Farzi, I feared we were not going to see him in heartfelt yet lovable movies that are just fun, because sometimes movies are just meant to be that. Fun. Teri Baaton mein Aisa Uljha Jiya, directed by Amit Joshi and Aradhana, focuses on Aryan, played by Shahid Kapoor, who falls in love with a super robot called Sifra, played by Kriti Sanon. A revolutionary step in AI where robots mimic every human quality, the brainchild of Urmila, played by Dimple Kapadia, who is Aryan's Masi in the film. As Aryan is constantly getting pressurized to get married, this situation and Shahid's fond memories of Sifra make it the perfect ruse for Aryan's family to be convinced he is well settled in a committed relationship. The complications that arise when the couple decides to get married and Sifra gets introduced to the family forms the comedy of errors and even some dark themes that essentially is Teri Baaton mein Aisa Uljha Jiya. Has AI reached a point of consciousness and physical capabilities that we can foreshadow long-term procreation and human connections with them? Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it in theaters or not. Choreography and music. I have been vibing to the music of this film for quite some time. Sachin Jigar's Tumse is melodious and beautiful. I'll be honest, I hated the remake of the title track. It just seemed like a mess to me honestly, both from the Jani Master choreography and the costumes that the leads are wearing. I also realized that Jani Master as a choreographer is always a hit and a miss, because most of his movements tethers the thin line between masterful and overtly complicated. I think the attempt or the memo he was given for the dance tracks here was to integrate as much robotics too, hence the straight lines in choreography and almost mechanical movements in the dance. Shahid especially more than aces it. While the choreography is still fun and joyful in Lal Peeli Akhiyan, it is just awkward on the title track. Akhiyan Gulab is the Shahid we love to see move and groove. This is essentially Shahid's vibe. Flowy, grounded, almost like dancehall choreography dependent on complex footwork. I have officially become a fan of Vijay Ganguly's choreography. He's really executed some great dance numbers with both the brothers, Main Parwana with Ishan and Akhiyan Gulab with Shahid. Gags. This film is mostly a hit and a miss with its comedic gags. The great part about the movie, and this may be how low the bar is regarding the genre of romantic comedies in the Hindi space, but at least I did not cringe in this film. With movies like Tu Jhooti Main Makkar, I could not bear the meet cute sequences between the leads in the first half, or the random preaching in portions of Rocky or Rani. On the contrary, this Shahid and Kriti starrer has a breeze-like quality in the first half, especially in the way they get familiar with one another. The only running gag that I almost got tired of was Sifra getting accustomed with Hindi slang. Words like nakhara, tante, pappi and chumban are flung around as Aryan is amused at Sifra lacking knowledge about the slang. Dhumrapan nahi, ise sutta marna kehte hain, and a lot of it generates the hee laughs and not the hardy ha-has one would expect from a romantic comedy. Rajesh Kumar, who we all love as Rosesh, has one gag where he mispronounces things, and all of these quirks make the family members just caricatures versus people you would care about. Even a legend like Dharmendra barely has an impact as the Dada who is always up to some mischievous thing. While I thought that the family sequences would generate the most laughs, it was actually Ashish Verma as Monty, Aryan's best friend, who has the best scenes. A huge shout out to Kriti Sanon too in the climax, who pulls off a very tricky role. More on that later. Fun dynamic and chemistry. Everyone was initially hesitant about the pair. Everyone was pointing out their height difference and whether the dynamic between a human and robot would land. But I have to say that both the leads have great chemistry with one another. Shahid in a relaxed rom-com is a breath of fresh air. I haven't seen him this chill in front of camera in a long time. How his eyes light up at the sheer presence of Sifra, knowing each and every detail about him, you understand why he falls so hard for her. This is where the tough exterior completely crumbles, and Kriti balances the act of showcasing the objectivity of a robot while still being warm and empathetic like a human. A tricky balance as the performer can easily translate into something boring or bland. But Kriti is observant like an algorithm reading Aryan's character, yet you always feel like there can be a point where it can reach a point of feeling. You always hope Kriti overrides her system, and in some magical way the feelings take over the programming. You just hope that the heart takes over the microprocessor and Aryan can finally have the perfect life partner. It was good to see their banter together. I really have to commend Kriti though, because she was pulling off some of the wackiest sequences in the concluding moments of the film, which could have easily been unintentionally funny, but it was super convincing. Half-baked themes. This is the Maddock problem, and it needs to be acknowledged because other than Stree, the production company has not landed the perfect balance between a high-concept film being presented with a commercial sensibility palatable for a large audience. Dimple Kapadia and her work in her company developing this technology is nothing but a backdrop of the film. What becomes a struggle as a viewer is the marriage between the technical and human is not smooth enough for this movie. It's slightly confused in the themes it wants to shed light on. It shifts from a breezy romance to a journey of coming to terms with this reality to a comedy of errors to random mishaps along the way, and you feel slightly disoriented on what the film wants to be. There are great ideas, especially in the concluding moments, but there is a lack of structure that does not allow the film to soar, especially to make you care for the characters. There is such a lack of emotional connection so evident that you wish the film honed in on either simply being a romantic comedy, which is basically fun and breezy, or truly becoming a dark tale on the possible future where AI will reach a certain level of consciousness that is beyond control. It's somewhere in the middle, and that's where I find myself with this film. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Teri Baaton mein Aisa Uljha Jiya. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.